going to hang. And it's, a great deal, is it? Here comes Rachel, and she can't get there.
That was a saucy hand block, but he really needed to be careful there. Could have easily become a score on the board for Smog.
Yeah.
Some would say catch your D's, and we continuously yell it out to players. It's often the case.
Yeah, Vel Cotter got a touch to it and kind of macked it up into the wind, which is always dangerous. Would have been a hard ask for him to get a clean catch on it as well, though. But Smog have it back. Can they keep this 0 point? Nice cuts through the middle. Quick hands. Hits Rachel on the open side. Turton now. She has the upline option. Mosley fakes. Gets the nice swing off.
Beautiful flick inside, but there must have been a pick called on the field.
Yeah, Lucy High there is going to have a lot of break throws in this game. That's what they want to use it for. Keeper and the handler set, get the offense flowing.
It was a really nice flat throw into the wind as well. And it had such a good pace on it.
Looks like we might get an action replay of it. She goes to the backhand this time.
Almost a miscommunication there, but they managed to bring it back in safely.
Strong cutting there from Chris Creswell. Just grinding out the unders. Sugar Mix doing well to keep him parked outside. Oh, almost a poach off D. Oh, and this time they get it.
And number 96 on Sugar Mix just punishes them for their sloppy choices of throws. And he's just too trigger happy and sends it deep into the team Ismagood. It's just come off playing in the Opens game.
Yeah, they are not on the same team, so that was a bad choice to throw to the Open team is no good.
Oh, it was a terrible, terrible choice. They weren't going to help them and tap it back in.
Third time's a charm for Smog as this man is standing in the middle of the field unmarked. There's a pick called, which makes a lot more sense.
Interesting how Sugar Mix is set up. We only see 2 defenders up near the handlers, with one poaching off, trying to stop those throws in the middle and forcing those deep shots.
Turton reads it beautifully. She has one man in the end zone. She's going to look for the reset. Lucy's there. Oh, and she chose a bladey flick. That was not the greatest idea.
Certainly was a bad option, but she wasn't being presented with good options. She had number 29 just standing behind her saying throw it, but he wasn't really generating a good position.
Yeah, and to get it to Lucy, she needed to throw over the defenders, which is never a good idea in this wind. And Smog have had 3 chances already. I don't know if they'll get a 4th.
A very close mark from number 86 on Smog. And a run-through block there from 29.
Max Mosley there, cleaning up the shop. Now the really short field. They're on the upwind side of the field. They should get this in.
Oh! Straight into the hands of Sugar Mix.
Yeah, at this point, it's been a lot of Ds. Nobody's really controlled an offense. Kind of doing, going to a host stack again. Looking for the deep option. That one's very low. Going to be hard to hang in this wind. Will he get there?
And very quick.
Yeah, those downwind throws, they need to hang higher. Throwing it at chest level is just going to zip away from you. I've never really had a chance.
Liam, are you a fan of the Haro setup?
I definitely am. I really, really like it, even though neither team seem to be doing it that effectively here right now. But I like it. I feel like there's no dead space when you have horizontal stack. Well, vert stack, you're essentially killing off part of the field. But that's just me. A lot of people like it really well and seen it done exceptionally well. Both teams playing horizontal stack at the moment and struggling at times. I think that's more the wind than anything. Rachel gathers that one up, second attempt. The reset's there for her now. Nice high release backhand from the left-handed throw. This one to Lucy's on the money, and that's a great goal. Big point for Smog. That one dragging out.
Yeah, they really needed to close that gap, and they needed to finish off that point. It was getting really messy. But it looks good now. They're on 2 points, taking an early lead.
Yeah, Sugar Mix going to be disappointed there. They had, I think, 4 opportunities to break downwind. Like that's if you're not converting those, it's going to be tough to get any breaks really.
Yeah, Sugar Mix are also heading to WUC, if my notes are correct here. So, you know, they're a team that's been training obviously for quite a while.
Yeah, I think they actually got a late call up though. I think I did the 3rd or 4th German team going. They weren't initially selected for a triple UCC, so maybe they weren't training that hard. They kind of got with the late call up, like, oh guys, we should probably start training now. Hit the gym, put that beer down. We're going to Worlds. But their O-line has been holding, doing very well so far. Neither team getting a break. Michael Offenbach looking to send in. That one is a tight window, and it's not chased down.
Yeah, throwing into the same channel that your cutter is in, it's really hard to get those connections and get that off. But that was a really quick disc going down, and that receiver just couldn't rein it in, giving Smog another opportunity to lengthen their gap.
Yeah, someone's going to get a downwind break soon if it's not Smog right now. And that's going to be a big one. Glasspool maybe in the best position for this as it fades over him. Could he get the big grab? Oh, and excellently read.
Read that like a book.
Read that like his hair, which is also red. Oh, and the cheeky lefty backhand. Oh! Glasspool owning that point. Big break for Smog.
Turner catches it in the air, jumps into the end zone.
As you're going to see a slow-mo replay of this cheeky lefty backhand. This is how you throw downwind, lofty. Look at that. Hop, skip, and a jump right in the end zone. Does anyone else think Glasspool looks like the guy from Train Spotting Tommy? Is that just me? Am I the only person that thinks that?
Oh.
Yeah. We won't say what happens to Tommy in that movie.
That's not a nice comparison to make, to be honest, Liam.
Well, at the start of the movie, he's quite a well-organized man that wants to go hiking. Towards the end, things turn south for old Tommy, but I'm sure things are going to remain fun for Glasspool.
Certainly, if he keeps up what he's doing right now.
And doesn't start heroin. That would be the key difference between him and Tommy, we'd hope. Not that we're here to judge, but we are here to judge. That's what we do.
I'm here to judge Ultimate Frisbee, and I only judge what I see, and that right now is a big matchup between Smog and Sugar Mix. Smog taking the lead with 2 points over Sugar Mix. They're sitting on 3. This could be the start of a big lead for Smog. I hear that lots of their players are actually dating each other, so we could see lots of honey passes here.
Nice. I'm not sure who they are, but we can just pretend or start matchmaking in a way.
I think we could matchmake. I mean, there's some nice connections going on out there. We could certainly presume, start some rumors.
And that pull went out about halfway down the field, so it looks like Sugar Mix want to get a few more yards. Really need to get this downwind 0 point now after just being broken. Offenbach with a quick swing, gets it out to the middle. Being forced backhand. Good pressure from Smog, we can't get there.
Nice mark though, very aggressive.
Can we get this swing off? Gets a nice inside break and a good mac. That was all planned and thought out. This is how Sugar Mix play. Bit of a messy stack in the end zone, but that doesn't matter. Yes, it does, because she almost got it, which is not catching it.
Caught it with one hand. Some would say catch it with 2 and you'll be safer. 2 hands better than 1.
3 if possible. If you have them, throw as many hands as you have on there.
Is it a goal if 2 people catch it at the same time from the same team?
Yeah, that's 2 goals actually.
That's true.
Could be. Oh.
I like that. 57 wasn't sure what just happened, but he said, I'll take the disc anyway.
Yeah, huge D. Got massive there by standing still. Just asking.
And absolutely doing nothing. Wasn't even aware of where the disc was going.
Yeah, I like that kind of defense.
But Sugar Mix, they deserve that shot again. They need to close this gap, and so they're just looking to reset. Dump's not getting free. Oh,
whoa.
Beautiful grab there from number 76.
Yeah, stole it away from him. Looked like the Smog defender was going to get there, and they hit that little cheeky inside leading pass again.
Oh, 69 just runs into his opponent. Says, get out of my way. I need to position my feet so I can pass the winning goal. Not winning goal, but just another point on the board.
That's game over. Thanks very much for tuning in. I've been Liam Grant.
We love a quick game, don't we?
Yeah.
I think it's lunchtime.
And this one ends 3-2. Yeah, great game.
Great game. Quick game's a good game.
Sugar Mix doing well there to hit the handlers on the resets. We see Smog kind of face marking the dump, not letting the easy pass, and the Sugar Mix taking the right option and leading their handler onto the break side, which is a far more rewarding throw, and that got him the continuation throw. So maybe Smog trying to do too much on defense and then giving away the break side. Interesting salute here from the from the Germans as they look for a talker, I think, on the sideline. Smog now in a power position of have the downwind with their O-line. If they can keep banging this in, they're going to be in a good position.
I mean, it's still early on in the game, but there's always time for some small, subtle adjustments, and that's a really nice pull there from Sugar Mix deep in the end zone in danger territory.
That is huge. Tom Lee's now inside his own end zone. Want to get out of there. They're now just the yard outside. Hyde threads the needle. He gets a nice pass off to Mazzone. Haven't really seen him so much in this game. One of their top players.
Sugar Mix setting up in an interesting defense. As you've got, they're just kind of setting off a little bit from their players. They're not very tight and close onto them.
And that is Huck and Hope. Looks like there could be a defender underneath it. Yeah, well gathered up, well read.
Pushes it away, says, I don't want the responsibility of having to throw this down the field. And that was good defense there from Sugar Mix, but it was interesting because it was a high stall count.
And looks like they're chatting about whether it was going to be a stall out or will it be probably retracted and go downfield. So it's just more of a question of what field position is this going to come in at, because she did throw it. So it'll be a turnover. It's whether it's coming in a few yards outside the end zone or if they have to go the whole way up the field. And they're now turning to Mazzone to see if he has an opinion on the situation or if they're trying to clarify the rules. So, yeah, it is a turnover, and it'll be coming in where they just landed. Great hand signal there of turnover, woof of hand signal. Have your palm out like you're asking for some penny sweets, and then you got the sweets and you just turn them on the ground. Flop them over.
Sugar Mix now have to move it all the way downfield, though, against the wind. Fakes a big backhand. Oh! And throws it into the hands of a Smog player.
Now Bennett, 1 yard to go. Lofty backhand to Mazzone.
Double happiness, gets the intercept, then the point, scores. Smog now with a lead, 4 points to 2.
Mazzone and Bennett combining there. I hadn't seen too much in the game and two of the strongest players, but turned up on this point. Shows you the depth and strength of this small roster. I'm expecting big things from nearly all of the mixed GB teams going to Worlds. Having played against them, they just have so much depth in that nation, a big country of ultimate players. A lot of great players choosing to play mixed this year as well. So I won't be surprised if we see one of them do very well. It could be any of them. They're actually very equally matched.
Liam, we were talking yesterday about the strength of mixed teams and how when mixed teams don't use their women as much, that's where they really fall short. We'll see Smog here. They have so many powerful female players, and they've all played together in women's teams. So they have very strong chemistry on the field. I mean, you can't fault any of their players. They're all incredibly highly skilled athletes.
Yeah, I think you just want balance to both genders. I played an Irish mixed team before where our women were way better than our men. We called 3 women all the time. Got to the final of European Beach Championships and then met the Swedes who also had great women. And then we just started using our men and that was it. We lost terribly because we were worse. So I think it's important. You need both. You can't just have one.
Certainly, it's not just about one gender being better than the other. It's just about utilizing every sort of aspect.
And that is a dangerous throw. Danny chasing that down. Oh, I don't think he landed in. Yeah, great effort. He couldn't have done any more there. Spears in pursuit. The disc trailing out of bounds. Did a great effort to tow it in, but that just ain't going to work.
Really nice effort to chase that down, though. And very good sportsmanship. Just immediately agrees that it was out.
Look at this defense. You have 2 people way back in the end zone, so leaving a lot of space on the front. Almost playing a German-style offense, just having 3 or 4 people downfield do their thing. Now into a more standard hoe stack. Using the whole width of the field very nicely. See you work through the middle. Good continuation cuts. This is a beautiful point. That one's going to hang, though. Let's see if Spears get big. He's in a great position there. Great goal. Hop, skip, and a jump into the air. Takes it down.
Barely jumps up high. Just uses his height to snatch that disc away from the Sugar Mix player. This offense is really nice, but it's not something you can just turn on and say, hey, let's try this. You actually need to train for this type of offense. This is a sign that this team has been working together for ages and that they know each other very well. You can't just say, let's try this. It's an element of just understanding what every player is going to do and knowing where they're going to cut.
Spears doing fantastic there as we see Connor Hill putting this disc up. And Spears kind of steps across his man a little bit. Not letting him make a play, and it steps it across, lets it come over his shoulder, and then goes up and just took a perfect position.
And read it really nicely. So Sugar Mix now 3 points down. They need to make some changes to the way that they're playing. Liam, can you offer any words of advice for them?
For a Sugar Mix, I think they opened up with a big huck in their first 0 point. I want to see them use that more. They threw a fantastic disc at separation with their female receivers. I'd like to see that again, or at least threaten that more to get big unders because they're struggling a bit downfield. Great chase down there by Smog, but Sugar Mix take advantage, and that's not what they needed right now.
An easy turnover, just taps the disc out of his hands, doesn't grab it safely enough.
Gilman now picking up the disc, essentially only handler back. Now Glasspool coming back to join him. Struggling to get free, gets that inside off that both teams have been using effectively. Works up nicely. Williams looking the end zone and gets the free receiver, and a great point for Smog.
Textbook offense. I mean, that was so clinical and clean. They just waited for that opportunity to come, and there it was. Stunning work there from the Smog team.
They thought about throwing some spies. I kind of wanted them to. Thought about maybe a little cheeky break pass there, but the receivers are too good. There's a guy open side under every time. No fun.
Certainly no fun for the viewers at home. We want to see those spicy throws. In our previous game, Gigi was asking for some hammers every shot. Well, we got quite a fair few. I hope to see some today. But going back to what you were saying, Liam, advice for Sugar Mix. I think they've lost a bit of confidence in these last couple of points. But they have the skills. I mean, they have those throws, and now they're going downwind. I think you're right. They just need to huck it deep.
Maybe have some jelly tots, get some sugar into them, and mix it all up together and come out with something different. I wonder if it's sugar mix, and then if they have a men's and women's team, is it sugar men and sugar women? No. Well, I have no idea, and I don't think we'll ever find out.
If sugar mix was a lolly, what would it be?
If sugar mix was a lolly, it would be inconsistent and losing.
Perhaps one of the, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like a powder mix, and they're sweet. You have like a little spoon, and they're
Dip
sweet.
dab? Is that the thing?
Something like that. It's sweet to start off with, and then it goes sour. Can't remember what it's called, but perhaps that's what sugar mix is.
As literally as you spoke, they turf it.
I'm sorry, sugar mix.
Connor Hill now
Big fake.
puts it up to Spears. He's not that tall. And we'll get another shot of this. We'd like to see them use that deep threat. That stack is very deep. Kind of takes away the deep bottoms. Isolating one man in the front, and that is a dangerous throw. That's well gathered up.
And we see a fill cut. A safety precaution there. She runs through, make sure that she's there to get that disc.
Really just playing with the three people up front, Sugar Mix, which isn't a great idea, especially if that's your bailout. This could work out, except if Cal Spears wasn't there. The big man minding the house.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that could be the other Spears. I just realized there's the two Spears on the field, and one of them is a chance of scoring.
Very quick bullet of a disc. I'm not sure number 23 had the pace behind him.
Yeah, that's actually Dylan Spears. Two brothers that look quite alike. Thankfully wearing the exact same cap as well to make it more confusing for me, but different color boots. Different numbers as well.
That's nice of them.
Yeah.
We'll see if they do that. Certainly not putting that handler in the front of the stack again this time, which is a safer option. I didn't think it was working for them.
Just outside their end zone now. Getting a bit stagnant downfield. Option to go deep. He's got to send that, and he does. Oh, it's going to be a bit short.
Bit of a pie throw there.
And Hill does very well to box him out. It was falling short and just kept a good bye position. Didn't even have to touch it. He's like, I got this. Sugar Hill calling for Sugar Hill. The Sugar Hill gang are just storming to the field now. We see a little hip to the hippie. Yeah, Sugar Mix asking the sideline to help out. One Spears versus two Sugar Mix. Not today. A lot of turns away in this point. Big fake. And throws a lofty swing and is a great jump and grab.
Very great defense there though from Spears, who's so tight on his player.
This one could work out. Oh, and a great read.
She's just really struggling there with the pace to try and catch up, but she got there in the end.
Put on the jet boosters now. Only short field to go. Sugar Mix really need this one. He's going to try a cheeky round.
Send it to the other side of the field, and he does for a nice cut out of the end zone. Looks her away, centers it back.
Smog defense so good here. It's shutting down the majority of options. Having to try difficult break passes. Oh, don't know if there's a foul there. Looks like they're going to chat about it. I have a feeling Dylan did foul him, but whether it affected play, if he had a bid on it, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think there was certainly a foul there, I think, but I think that disc was already too high in the air for him to be able to get. He didn't have the position to grab that if he wasn't fouled to turn around and get it.
It did hang up quite a lot, though. It really did float, that disc, so I can see his point of view. It's one of those things where if you're Dylan's your teammate, you're like, oh, mate, don't he wasn't going to get there. Don't hit him, because it becomes difficult to then tell him he wasn't going to get there. So it's a tricky one. So the sideline's getting involved now and is maybe questioning just that. Did he have an opportunity to make a play on the disc? Discussion going on now for about 30 seconds or so. Likely to be contested. As you see, some people enjoying Amsterdam experience. That was a turnover. Very spirited call by Sugar Mix, taking into account the perspective of his opposition.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very long discussion there. And Smog, rightly so, calls a timeout.
Yeah, Smog just taking the sting out of the game now, letting it reset themselves. Leading 6-2. And it's round 2 in the mixed division. There is 5 rounds of Swiss draw, and then it goes into quarters, semis, and finals if you're lucky enough to make the top 8. Everyone else continues in the Swiss draw format. So the most important thing is every point matters. Doesn't matter now if they're 6-2 down. Even if they hold the rest of their 0 points, that's still really big. You want to keep that margin as tight as possible.
Yeah, this timeout now is really crucial for Sugar Mix. They have the opportunity to reset and go over what they need to do. I think part of it is going to be concentrating on generating those options on the defense, because the Smog defense is just so tight, putting up really safe shots. But Liam, would you add anything to that? Would you?
Yeah, it's really, I think, Smog's athleticism shining through. We see Sugar Mix maybe struggling with their offense. I don't know if their offense just is bad or like unstructured. It's more that Smog are just very athletic and shutting down a lot of options, and it's making it very difficult for them. Sometimes they isolate 1 or 2 players too much. They have only one person active downfield, and if they don't get free, they get into trouble. So be more dynamic with their cutting. Have option open side, option on the break side, because if you isolate one player, Smog are doing a very good job of shutting them down. And you need 2 or 3 chances to get that disc moving. Anything else? Maybe like to see them change up their defense as well, a bit more zone. Keep mixing it up until maybe you find something more effective.
Yeah, put it on a zone now while it's still early in the game. See if it's working against Smog. This is the time to use it. You don't want to use it in the last sort of moments of the game because it's just too risky. So put it on now, see how it goes, apply that pressure. In comparison though, Smog have that really great horizontal offense that they've got down pat. So they might actually be able to break a zone quite easily, and we'd love to see that.
That's the timeout coming to an end now. Offense is set, Smog, so Sugar Mix just seeing how they want to line up. Kind of interesting stack here. Is this Hex? This is Hex. It's Hex. Oh my God, it's Hex.
It's
Everyone,
Hex.
it's Hex. They're doing Hex. Look, everyone, it's Hex. It's a hexagon in the field. I spotted it. Oh, I would be very embarrassed if I not realized that was going on. And there they are, moving to the left side of the Hex, now shooting to the end of the Hex. And it's Hex. It can't lose at Hex.
The Hex works.
Hex works. Somewhere, Felix Charlot is smiling. He's not even watching the game. He just gets this warm feeling in his soul that, yes, Hex.
He knows a Hex is being played somewhere.
Off a timeout as well, you know. Timeout, let's Hex this one out. Oh! As the rain comes down, the Hex gods smite them.
Smite them. They will. That was a great block from number 26 on Sugar Mix.
Yeah, transecting the hexagon and turning it into a suckagon.
Don't believe a suckagon is a thing, Liam.
Well,
but
you just witnessed it. We just watched it right there.
You Irish do have a way of making up your own language.
I know, yeah.
And using words that certainly aren't real.
Me. Oh, is that a Callum? Callum Spears No, disrespect my hexagon. I'll show you.
So casual. Steals that away from his player. I'll take that. Thank you very much, sir. That's mine. That's a Callahan. Oh, that is truly beautiful work from the Smog team.
Quite the casual Callum Callahan. As you see his teammates rushing in to get excited, he seems pretty nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah,
Super nonchalant.
whatever, just get me out. Want some hex. Don't care about no Callahans.
I want my next point on to Hex.
I want to have hex at Windmill. Lots and lots of hex. Hex at Windmill. Liam Grant, 2018.
The Irish for you. They love a tune.
Hillary and Liam's Summer Hits. Out now on CD. It's the Sugar Mix Gang. Don't show another Callahan. Don't do it.
It's pretty simple, isn't it? I mean,
I never throw in my own end zone. That's the key to not throwing Callahans. People are like, oh, make a dump cut in your end zone. No, I'm not throwing it there, mate.
No.
Not happening. I'll gladly turn a turnover all the way down there.
Sugar Mix get the brick to set up. This could be good for them. Get in a power position. They're coming out in a vertical stack with a cutter isolated on the side. She's cutting long.
Looking to set up the D shot there. Rachel Turton poaching it. This one going in the air. Nice. Nice grab. Gets it on the second attempt. And then Smog just smothering on the defense.
Sugar Mix getting really nervous and angsty about what's happening. Couldn't get any of those options off. Glasspool now with the disc.
Centers it. And Smog just seems so free in comparison. Oh, thought about the deep shot, but resets with Glasspool instead.
The difference here that we're noticing between Smog and Sugar Mix is that
about 5 people had a bid on that one. Just arms flailing everywhere.
nobody really wanted it. But the difference in offensive styles is that Smog are offering not just one cut, but they're offering 2 options for every disc there is. There are 2 places to throw. Conversely, with Sugar Mix, you'll see here, there's only one option coming off at that time, and they're being really slow to cut, which is why we saw a high stall count. Previously, big huck.
This one's going to be spicy. He sends it right in the Sugar Mix, and that is a goal. We see the fans in the background signaling 2 hands in the air like they just don't care, but they clearly care because they're helping out.
I thought that might have gone out, but he chased that down very nicely. And Sugar Mix now back in the game with their 3rd point on the board. It feels like this game has only just begun, but the scoreline is just so far in front for Smog. They're 7 points. They're on the doorstep now of taking half.
And that is Patrick Kesper getting a great goal. And like, their deep game has been good. I'd like to see him do it more.
You did say that earlier. You wanted to see those big throws, and it was working for them. That first play that they had, that was a huge huck to the end zone, and that player scored straight off the bat. I mean, it was a moment where they were saying, look at what we can do, and this is how easy we can do it. But since then, they haven't really tried.
And, you know, even if it doesn't come off every time, they have to respect that more, and it'll make it easier to grind out the unders. And if they have been turning over, might as well turn on the other end. But, yeah, they've had some, 2 of their 3 goals have been really nice hucks.
Sugar Mix now really have the hardest point of the game. They have to slow down Smog, because if they take half, this is really going to be Smog's game.
Bennett centers it back to Bennett. Nice, quick, good will moving. And this is a zone from Sugar Mix. But they're just carving their way through it.
Oh,
little travel there. Yeah. I think
massive. Not sure, Liam, how you saw that, but that was huge.
Yeah, I think he was about to throw it quick, stopped, and then couldn't help but slow down. He knew he traveled as he was doing it, and it's quick to go back. Play doesn't stop, obviously. and they keep their momentum. And Bennett might be able to run this one in. No, he's just shy. Little Statue of Liberty, bam, in the end zone.
Made it too easy for them. Sugar Mix just wasn't tight enough on that zone. And they just allowed those 1-2 movements between the handlers to get through.
Yeah, Smog were just loving that. Yeah, we'll give them a go all day. They were maybe protecting downfield too much. Usually in the zone, you want to put a lot of pressure around the disc and make them throw over the zone, make them try a hammer or a hook over the cup. But that time they had too much space around the handlers, and Smog very confident and smart in those situations.
Yeah, they just moved it very quickly, which didn't give Sugar Mix enough time to set up the mark. But then also Sugar Mix wasn't aggressive enough to put the mark on and to get close enough, which is why they've now taken half, 8 points to 3.
Hillary, who do you think is the best mixed team in Great Britain?
I can't answer that question because I have not seen all of the mixed teams play.
You can answer that question. It'd just be.
In fact,
we've been drawing and you just make it up, you know.
In fact, Smog is the first mixed team from Great Britain that I've ever seen play together. I saw the women's team play at UKU Tour 1, but I have no idea how the other teams hold out.
Yeah, I guess the reason I asked is because I think they're all pretty tight. They've all got a few wins on each other. Glasgow, Reading, and Smog making their way to Cincinnati. It's actually in Lebanon, Ohio, where it is. And if that doesn't scream fun, I don't know what does. Lebanon, Ohio. That's the place we're going, babe.
I hear it's in the middle of nowhere, far, far away from lots of things.
I've been to Ohio before, and I swore I'd never go back there, and I cursed myself.
And now you're going back, not to play though, but to play your cards as a commentator.
Play my cards.
Play your tunes on the radio, so to speak.
The Sugar Mix gang.
All right, what do you think Sugar Mix said in that halftime point?
Be better at ultimate. I think they need to find a way of slowing down Smog's offense, if anything, and cutting better on offense. That's the two problems they have. I think Smog just are more athletic than them, which makes it difficult to play.
Certainly does. I guess the element to this as well being a Swiss draw is that you still want to get points on the board. You don't just care about the fact that whether you win or lose, but you want it to be a close game. You still want to get lots of points. Sugar Mix are going to have to work a little bit quicker, and that was a really nice pull there from Smog and a great run down from Glasspool, putting on the pressure early.
Oh, nice. Carving flick to get them going. Yeah, Glasspool has chased down every pull. I don't know if he just runs off the sideline or where he comes out, but he seems to be there every single time. 10 for effort. And now we get the classic stagnant offense of Sugar Mix that we've grown to know and love. But here's the hook, and that's the bit we like. Glasspool in pursuit. Sugar Mix has position. Oh, could slow down. Oh, and a great read by Glasspool. Came in, took the inside channel.
He had great positioning there. He read that disc and got in front of his player. Textbook intercept there and moved it really quickly. That's a difference here between Smog and Sugar Mix, is that Smog are resetting very quickly and they're getting into space. They're moving the disc. It's a run and gun kind of show, whereas Sugar Mix, as you say, got very stagnant, very slow.
That was a great big swing to nowhere. That was cool.
Over to the cameraman.
Yeah, Anthony there thought about catching it, but he isn't wearing any shoes. Just spotted that. You cannot see that on camera. You can't smell it on camera either, thankfully.
No.
This is not a smell-a-phone.
He's a better cameraman without his shoes on, I think.
I agree. He's a better man without his shoes on. Oh, and that's what we're doing. This
spicy!
They've been listening to Liam Grant because that's the offense they should be playing.
That's a bit of sweetness, and look at them. That's the confidence boost that they needed. Lift their heads.
Give me some sugar. That's what I like. Sweet and tasty. As you see
certainly
that
a tasty
huge
shot
flick
there.
on the replay. Bam.
Really nice grab there as well. From number 26.
Yeah, I think that was Julian out.
Well, if there's anything that's working for Sugar Mix, it's just huck it long and send one of your good receivers down to get it, to fetch it.
Going to crunch some numbers here. 75% of their goals, boomy hooks. Boom.
Doot. Numbers crunched.
Crunch some numbers there for you. Crunch. Glasspool has chased down 100% of the pulls like a ferocious swan.
Yeah, I love people who do that. You know, that's when you get those Callahans. That's when you get those turnovers right on your sideline, right on the doorstep of your end zone. Just even being down there to apply the pressure is enough to set some handlers off.
Yeah, David Bowie and Queen said it best, putting them under pressure.
Under pressure.
Windmill, the musical. Turton now. Sends a boomy flick. We like the boom as well. To his own is the man you want to be throwing it to. Oh, I think he got fouled there. Had it in his hand. I think just getting boshed made him drop it.
He absolutely had control of that in his hand.
Yeah. Rachel not afraid to boom it as well. And a quick give, go. Bennett to the end zone. That is a goal for Smog.
Smog extending their lead to 9 points.
I think it's important for Smog to keep ramping it up, you know. Don't take the pressure off because
Yeah, put the foot down.
this is
pedal
Swiss
to the
draw. It's
metal.
Swiss draw. It ain't about winning. It's about scoring those goals, getting every point.
They're 6 points off points cap as well. They could the way that they're going, they could end this game quite quickly. Head off to lunch, relax, get ready for the next game.
Give us a nice little break as well. That'd be nice.
Certainly is
Come on,
in my
Smog.
favor. I don't know if anyone can tell
Yeah.
what I'm hungry for. More Frisbee!
Love? What?
I guess there are some improvements that Sugar Mix could make, but for now I would say run and gun, make those hucks. At this point in the game, you're 5 points down. You can either play it safe, prescriptively, very clinical, and try and just do it neatly, or you could just have some fun and say, hey, we recognize where we're at, and let's just enjoy the game.
I think it's important as well, with a Swiss draw, the time you're like ascent to the top, sometimes it's okay to lose the first, second game. You get pushed down against weaker teams. And look, there's Boomtown. That you got to keep it in field though. That is key. Much easier to score when it lands in your pitch.
Certainly, Liam, you just mentioned there, it is key to keep the disc in your field because that's how it retains in your possession. But
look now,
some can't be as lucky.
Smog have a long way to go now. Look, better off turning it up there.
Oh, and they're trapped in coffin corner, so certainly will be interesting to see how they get it off. But their horror is nicely.
Williams looking to swing.
Big across the field pass.
Smog just looked so confident. That was
Sugar Mix are
delicious.
Sugar Mix are just lagging, aren't they? They're just sort of jogging behind their players.
Too much Frosties this morning. Sugar-coated donuts.
Donuts.
But I have an opportunity now to get this next one. Ooh, things about the big backhand break. Ooh, a nice little jink there at the front of stack. Where's the continuation cut? It's never coming. There we go. And again, they're just one cut short of a great offense. But they get it in.
Yay!
Slow and steady does the Sugar Mix.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty point. As you say, they get one or two passes and they're very stagnant. And it's the fact that their receivers aren't generating their cuts before the handler gets that disc. What they need to do is anticipate where the disc is going to go, so they need to set up their cut. And as they turn, they're going to be free when the handler gets the disc, but that's not happening. They're waiting until somebody gets the disc, and then they're going, oh, okay, I've got a cut now, but it gives the defense time to recognize that and go, well, I can cover this.
Yeah, they're not really cutting in pairs. You know, one cut's coming like, oh, there, yeah, she got the disc. I should probably move now. And they should be always anticipating the next move, trusting your teammates to get free the first time, and you're right there for cut number 2. But they got that one in. They're clawing back, 9-5. Only 4 in it now and have a chance to break downwind. Let's see what they can muster up now. So any contrasting difference between Australian mixed ultimate and mixed ultimate in Europe that you've seen? Or just in the sport in general?
There are some differences in the way that mixed teams play, actually, because for some, like I find that there's a different level in Australia where there are some mixed teams that are incredibly quick, and they primarily move it through their handlers.
Oh, and Bennett gets a good goal there. That was a very smooth, silky 0 point from Smog. Continue on, sorry.
Oh, that was a really nice grab. And also very casual and nonchalant yet again. I mean, Smog, it's just, they're not much of the celebratory players, are they? They just go, oh, yeah, got
They're
another
definitely
point.
not celibate anyway, I can confirm with that. Celibacy is not part of their program.
No, I think you have to be dating someone to join the team. I think that's
how you get into the team. That's the initiation.
that's the tryout.
That is lies. We are joking. They
We're
are
so sorry for offending anyone.
Team.
Yeah, I'm sure they hold very rigorous tryout sessions.
I think it's okay as long as we offend everyone equally.
Yeah, so how can we offend Sugar Mix?
By never eating sugar again. Going on a sugar-free diet. That would show them.
That's a big move. It's bold, Liam.
Yeah, I'm not going to last 10 minutes on that diet. I think it's the only thing I may be addicted to is sugar.
I think you're actually drinking a sugar drink right now as we speak.
No.
Does it match your hair color, Liam?
Is this a racial slur? You're trying to say that I have Fanta hair. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm trying to say that was an incredible pull from Smog. I love the mark.
That's exactly what you do, Boomtown. I think this one's going to be okay. It's sitting. He's going to get there.
Yes!
That's a beautiful walk.
That was a great run on.
And a timeout.
Nicely called, because he knew his team was going to slow down. That's well thought out there. That was a Hail Mary pass, but it came off.
I'm surprised Smog didn't see that one coming. Like, you know, it's getting high in the stall count. They're now making little triangles with their hands, which some kind of Illuminati. Is it the Illuminati?
I think they're praying to Beyonce.
Yes, Sugar Mix.
To say, please, help us.
We all know Beyonce is the leader of the Illuminati. And are going to somehow rig this.
Yeah, they're signaling to the Illuminati gods, Beyonce and JC, to say, please.
Who are Smog praying to?
Smog don't need any sort of god or spiritual being to pray to, because they've got the quality in them and the ability to take the game. They're not even praying to themselves, as you see when they score. They're just like, yeah, that's done. That seems another day, another dollar, another score on the board.
Could we see a hex defense? That'd be cool. Let's see how Sugar Mix end up in a vertical stack. Seems like they've one cutter isolated at the front.
And they've got one very deep in the end zone.
Yeah. Looks like Sabine Dietz there at the front. And a man so far back in the stack, I can't tell who that is. He's basically on another field.
So going back to what you asked me earlier, Liam, about how Frisbee is, how does it compare to in Australia? One of the things we don't see in Australia is a hex setup, but one of the things we do see a lot is a diagonal stack. And I haven't seen that here. Lots of the high-level teams in mixed ultimate like to do a diagonal stack in Australia.
Yeah, I've seen Japanese teams do that quite a lot. I've done it once or twice, but yeah, it's not something that's that normal here. As Sugar Mix look like they've found a way to the end zone. Still trying to unlock this Smog defense.
They're getting very desperate to get that disc off though. It's all a bit, as we see, just one cut at a time. It's just not good enough. You need to create more options. If anything, I would just say to them, just continually run. Don't ever catch yourself stopping and standing still.
Looks like there's a call on the field. I think it was maybe a marking infraction that he's contesting whether it was right or wrong, or perhaps a foul. Going to have a little wee chat about it though. Again, yeah, like Smog doing so well here. Maybe 10 or so passes from Sugar Mix off the timeout, and they haven't really got anywhere. Still in possession, so they'll be happy with that, but they really need to score this point, and it's in a position you'd expect a team of their caliber to get in.
Yeah. Often we say as a commentator, if you call, oh, and they get it, finally. Sugar Mix get the score. I was about to say, often we find when a team that's in offense calls a timeout and they're on the doorstep of their end zone line, it results in a turnover because they try and set it up so well, and they say, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to throw it to this person and we're going to score. And it just gets too much for them.
I know, maybe too scheduled, but did well there. I don't think they had too much of a different offense. They're calling now 4 women Sugar Mix. We actually haven't seen 4 women too much in this game. I think that could play into the hands for Smog because their women are very, very good.
Having seen the Smog women play at the UK 201, I know that they are incredibly good. They are a force to be reckoned with. This is an interesting choice here for Sugar Mix, but maybe the right one. It could well and truly be what helps them close the deficit on the scoreline.
You see mixed teams call it a lot if they're on defense going downwind. Maybe thinking this is going to hang up. I know this seems to be happening quite a bit, but I think it's the first time we've seen it call this game.
I think so. I don't think we've actually seen.
And like the Smog women, particularly on their O-line, are really, really good. But perhaps maybe just they seem to have a full squad as well. I was going to say maybe it's a legs issue or whatever, but I'm surprised Smog haven't done it. Ooh, is this no? Not a hex. I thought it was almost a hex, but it's not. Someday. And we're seeing a zony kind of a look from Sugar Mix. A woman kind of playing deep. See Rachel again in the middle. Swings it across. As you see another glass pool on the field. Jams it down the sideline. And this is better from Sugar Mix now. This is the kind of the best we've seen in a while. Them putting a lot of pressure on. Oh, hand block. Got a finger on that one. Low release to Turton. And really good defense from Sugar Mix. She doesn't have a lot of options. Looking downfield, is going to have to reset it. And they're doing very well to slow him down, Sugar Mix. Only getting to halfway now. Turton, though, in acres of space. Oh, seems to be left free. She goes up line and a great cut. Massive stride length as she drives towards the end zone. Transitioning to match defense now. Tries to jam it up the line. Oh, that one's got it up. by the Sugar Hill Gang, which I've started calling them because I think it's funny, but it's Sugar Mix. They are
and
not
a bullet through the hands of a Sugar Mix player. Didn't have the fudgy, sticky hands that they needed.
Yeah, they're not the breakthrough hip-hop group I thought they were. As announcing Smog, and Noah go this time. No zone for them to try and blast through. Oh, another D.
A beautiful hand block there. Number 6.
Sugar Mix always racing this now to see if the D throws on. They know what they want, but Smog alert to the danger. This one's going to drift over. Is anyone there to gather it up? No.
Yeah, Sugar Mix just not generating those options, but that disc was just too high and that wind just pushed it out even further. At this type of level, you can't be putting up those dodgy throws anymore. You really need to be particular about how you're releasing it from your hand.
I don't know where this defensive effort has come from Sugar Mix, because we've seen them play the best defense all game this point. That one, a blady pass that lands on the money. Bit unorthodox, but that's how we like to play.
Number 32, that was...
That was a great score. That's exactly what that was.
He's not on our list of players. He doesn't exist. He's a ghost.
He's on our list of goal scorers, though. Nice little pump spike there. Well deserved. That's a big point for Smog, because Sugar Mix are getting some momentum, really putting them under pressure. And they can take a lot away from that. That's the first time I think they've really shook that Smog goal line. And it was actually with... there were 4 women on D, so that's a good call by them.
Yeah.
I was expecting Smog maybe to find it easier than before, but no.
To dominate a little bit more.
But that zone looked very good with their 4 women in it. So we'll see if they call it again when it's their turn to. I think that's a great thing. Just we've seen at least Sugar Mix try different options to, okay, this defense isn't working, let's try this. Okay, that wasn't working, let's try it. Make sure you try 4. When you try everything, and they're learning, they're getting better, they're gaining experience for Triple UCC.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, even if you're not going to win a game, it's certainly a good time to fine-tune these last little moments of the things you've been training for, and also use these games.
And let's say it's a Colin Field marking infraction. Did look like he was very close on the mark.
Yeah.
Hill.
But as I was saying, it's an opportunity now to pull out some things and test it and see how it works. If you take this as like a warm-up tournament and you're not really too concerned about winning, then you can really just focus on, testing out what's going to work before you head to Worlds.
That was a visionary throw. It was always going to be very difficult. You could see the receiver is free, but had to sit it up on the other side of the field. Maybe biting off more than he could chew with that one.
Yeah, visionary throw, but I don't think the receiver quite had the vision to rein it in and get that disc in hands. And we see the beautiful Smog offense. Oh, great one-handed grab there.
Spears very casually. He was almost behind his player there, but still just ran right through and caught it without breaking a sweat. Spears to Spears. We see another Spears.
I love the connection on the field. I'd love to see them huck it to each other.
Yeah.
Spears now running long. And we've got Dodd. 3 acres of space without a player in sight.
Yeah, quite a few gingers on this small roster. Glad to see.
Hey, Liam.
Ginger equity in effect.
That was a nice cut there. Very clean, easily taken. She had plenty of time to bring that disc down. Do you have a certain more favorable approach to gingers? Are you
biased? Yes. I think the word you're looking for is biased. And I fight for my own brethren, we got to stick together.
How many gingers have you counted on that team? Is that why Smog are winning? Because they have gingers, do you think, Liam?
That is the only logical explanation.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Frisbee, we've seen ultimate Frisbee out here today, but the only thing we can put it down to is the fact that 2, maybe 3 players have red hair.
Yeah, they're superior but recessive genes coming into play here.
Yeah. It's tough for those gingers. I mean,
This is classic overcast ginger conditions.
you must be loving
Optimum.
This is like barbecue weather back home for you, isn't it?
Well, barbecue weather for me is when my skin's getting barbecued. So this is clammy, dark, moist conditions. They're the most ideal.
Clammy? This is not clammy.
I didn't say this was clammy. I'm saying the most ideal conditions for gingers.
Oh, okay. Clammy dog.
Hypothetical.
I see.
Much like my soul. And now we see Sugar Mix getting a bit more flow back into their offense.
Oh,
Great
I
shot.
love that look.
Beautiful goal.
Yes, queen.
Left-handed grab.
The Sugar Queen hits the skies. The disc goes up.
Jessica Rule lending some sugar to her neighbor. That was a great shot. As you see in the replay, drives up line, gets into power position and doesn't hesitate. Beautiful throw, always favoring her receiver. Nice going up with the cheeky lefty grab. Casual cat. And we'd like to see more of that from Sugar Mix.
Yeah. As we say, another big shot down the end zone. I mean, that's all they got to do, right? They need their handlers to be generating those cuts as much as the receivers need to be generating those options. A nice confidence boost for them. Game's not over yet. The minute we hear the music, I believe that signals 5 minutes or like nearing the end of the game. Silence to date, so they've still got time to bring the game back into their favor.
Yeah, just entering the 60th minute now, so still time for them to get a few more scores on the board. I'm wondering if Smog are kind of strict O&D lines or just have lines themselves. You kind of see the same sevens kind of playing with each other. This time, Bennett and Mazzone downfield seem to work well together. Lucy Hyde definitely out there for a lot of the old points. Oh, and a vagrant disc goes out of bounds, straight from the brick mark. Not exactly totally going to be going downwind from the brick, probably the easiest position. But Sugar Mix don't hesitate and they're in. Doesn't have a mark in this, and he sends it to Boomtown.
And it's got a bit of float on it. Oh.
And Bennett did well there to read that one coming. Yeah. That's actually their hometown. Sugar Mix out of Boomtown, Deutschland. Boomentownen.
Boomentownen. I was just reading there on our notes about Smog, trying to sort of get a little bit of insight into what their style of play is going to be. And they've written here that it's big hucks, spicy breaks, and poachy.
Well, we're seeing a big hook now. That one hovering and floating, and Mazzone reads it to perfection. Got some serious airtime on that hook.
He just cannot stop, can he? He just loves to score.
Can't stop, won't stop. The man is on fire. And that was a huge hook. Entering the stratosphere briefly, coming back down, burning up on re-entry, but still enough give to be gathered up on his own. Great goal. We could watch that one several times, and we will.
You just watch the receiver adjusting his position as he's coming in. He cuts diagonally towards the disc and recognizes that it's going a little bit further out, so he has to go back deeper. Very nicely read.
Just seeing Chevron action flash warming up beside us, wondering if if they're playing here next. Do we know what's coming up?
Let me check for you there, Liam. Certainly lots of games coming up today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. All being streamed on ULTI.TV on YouTube. Thanks to the ULTI.TV crew today. And for every tournament that they've set up for us, it's incredible the effort that they put in and the work that they do to bring it. They're the true heroes behind the camera. You don't often see them because they're the ones behind the camera, but they do an incredible job. And we see Sugar Mix getting stuck in a zone put on by Smog.
Yeah, this is kind of a forced middle, maybe a 2-1-2 or the 3 up top. Playing with 2 deep, Smog. Essentially playing 5-on-5 downfield at the moment. Sugar Mix and Smog as they try to get through the zone. Need to spread it out more, and they're getting into trouble going backwards, which is not a good thing in Ultimate.
Oh no, and they need to ask their deep players to come in a little bit closer and start generating some space and cutting.
Well, I think they need to go kind of run further deep or come back under. They're kind of stuck in no man's land.
One of them needs to stay deep though. They've both come in close because they need an option down the field. I mean, if they need that Hail Mary pass, they want someone deep down there.
Again, Sugar Mix still holding on to this. Haven't got anywhere. Getting a little frustrated, but get that hammer over the top, and this should leave him with space. Can't get the next pass off though. There we go. There's the call from the sideline to transition to match defense, and there's a woman in the end zone.
Oh,
easy clap catch.
Waiting, saying, hey guys, I'm free. No one around. Just as they trained, it's just like throwing back and forth.
And according to our Windmill chat, it will be Free Sheet versus Chavi, which is an interesting matchup. That's a joke. Something obviously autocorrect there, but it's of course Free Speed out of Basel and Chevron Action Flash from the UK will be happening on a field. That's what it is. I think it's field 5, and field 6 will be Trouble versus Dublin Gravity. So that'll be a good matchup. I've called the Irish girls do very well in this tournament. Ravi didn't believe me, but he will eat his words. I think that as far as I'm aware, they beat Fabulous in the opening game. So 13-8. Sugar Mix staying within touching distance. Still haven't got a break as far as I'm aware.
No, this
Testament to the Smog O-line.
I mean, the pace has certainly slowed down from the first half. We saw Smog just absolutely dominating the game and scoring very quickly and easily. Sugar Mix have started to work out a little bit of how to slow them down, but it's certainly not stopping them at any point because they're just pure athletes on the field. The Smog team just have such versatility. They can play a short match, they can also play it long and huck it deep. It's hard to defend against that. I mean, how do Sugar Mix defend against the Smog team?
I don't know. I just saw a cute baby on the sideline down there. The disc actually almost hit him.
A baby or a babe?
Baby.
Okay, I just double checking because of your accent. I wasn't too sure.
No, look at the baby. The disc almost hit the baby.
Oh, there is a baby. I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, Liam Grant is not getting sidetracked by beautiful women, but a very cute baby on the sideline.
Yeah.
Mind
the baby
you,
should also not be on the sideline.
Mind you. Yeah. Oh, interesting pass over the top of players. Smog comfortably moving it between each other against the Sugar Mix zone.
High release backhand over the top to Max, looking for a back again. Hyde now. As a call for transition again. Again, the Sugar Mix defense has been getting better all game. As this one should be gathered up. Oh, and almost.
Almost wasn't, though. That player was just waiting there for the disc to come down, and you can't really stand still in those sorts of moments. You have to box it out.
It's not a waiting game.
It's not a waiting game. When you've got someone running in.
But they do get the turn. Now in a difficult part of the field. Good cut now. Oh, and a hand block. Hyde denies her. No reset for you. As we see the replay. Kabam!
Just shut her down. Oh! Too easy. I love those cuts from the top of the stack. Yeah,
showing their trust and connection there. That is a play you make when you really know your teammates very well. Pick up to this, they won't know what's happening.
Smog certainly know their team very well. They were formed in 2013, so they've had 5 years to train. Certainly probably not the same players since then, but no doubt they all know each other very well, and it really matters in these moments, as you see here today. When there's a team with great chemistry and on-field connection, it makes such a difference, and the scoreline is representing that, as we see 14 points for Smog, 8 to Sugar Mix. Oh. That's mixed.
Yeah, we see Sugar Mix now calling for women on offense. I think that was their closest opportunity for a break earlier this game when they did so on the downwind. So let's see if they can do it this time. I think this is their best chance for a break. I'm calling a break. I'm calling the first break of the game for my mates in the Sugar Hill gang right now. Oh, they're actually on offense. Well, they're going to have to. So they're not going to break that. That's already not going to happen.
But we want them to score. You're going to call them.
Yeah, I think they're going to score without turning over.
Okay. All right. Without turning over once or twice?
Ever.
Ever. Again. It's looking okay now.
Thought about it.
Movement, and they're looking long. They're just looking for that quick, huge pass into the end zone, but they'll take it safely. Oh! Uses his head to take the disc.
Interesting way to catch the disc.
A little dangerous, but I like it.
Using the face roll. This time catching it with his hands.
It's a one-time thing. You only see it once in every so often in a game.
This has been a beautiful O-point for Sugar Mix so far. Faking the hammer, the inside's there.
I mean, I don't want to curse them, but they haven't turned it over yet!
Yes, and they're not going to, because I said it's not going to happen. They heard me. Yes, please score.
Don't turn it over!
Oh! That was so good until it was bad.
Oh, I feel like I cursed them a little bit.
You did. You did. You actually shouted so loud and startled them.
They looked up. What? And forgot that they were playing Frisbee.
They had bobbled several times at that point, and we got away with it.
They'll get a turn!
And
And Spears is calling something, and I'm going to say that was...
Looks like the Sugar Mix player might have had the inside line there, but
I think he
uncontested foul. He definitely got a piece of Spears.
Yeah, definitely had to nudge his play out of the way to get that disc.
Glass pool.
The wind
Nice
is picking up as
cross-field
well.
throw.
Oh. For a moment, forgets that she's playing Frisbee and drops it.
Oh, that could work. Oh, no, that was almost beautiful.
The almost shot.
Yeah, she was maybe paying a little more attention to what was going on in the game. She's just jogging around the end zone there, oblivious to the Frisbee flying towards her.
Off in a daydream, just thinking about this game ending.
As we all are. Oh, it is game point for Smog.
Yeah, Smog could close this out very quickly, but they choose not to and give Sugar Mix another opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 turnovers now, Liam.
And everyone's turnovers have been pretty tiresome, as it seems to be some kind of Olympic wrestling happening on the sideline, but we'll keep our focus on this Sugar Mix Smog game. 2 triple UCC teams going to Cincinnati. And they hit 9 points on the board for Sugar Mix.
Sugar Mix slowing down the game. They still want to play. They've got that energy in them. I mean, it's like, it's a new Sugar Mix that we're seeing right now. They've kind of come out of the woodworks a little bit here. It's like if they were playing like this a little bit earlier on in the game, it might have been a different scoreline. But that often happens, isn't it? What is it about that, Liam, where teams just kind of resurrect themselves in the 11th hour?
I think maybe the pressure's off, you know? It's like, okay, we've kind of lost this game. I probably lost by a bit, so let's have fun. And then they kind of start playing well. Maybe it's that. I think Smog took the foot off the gas there more so. They had 2 pancake drops. I think, again, the pressure's off for them. They feel like they've won this and they're in cruise control, but maybe too cruisy at that time. And now, if their O-line holds like they've been holding all the game, this will be the end of Sugar Mix. As you see that O-line, Mazone, Turton, Bennett, Hyde. Center to Lees. Thinks about the big hook and she throws it. And this looks like Bennett reads it to perfection. And a nice Hiley's flick to Hyde, and it's a goal, and Smog win the game.
I love how she grabbed that, snatches it away from the oncoming player, and takes that easily. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching at the comfort of your own home or wherever you are. My name's Hilary Humes. I've been joined by Liam Grant from the Emerald Isle.
Liam Grant. Liam, you can call me whatever you want, honey. It's Liam Grant.
A leprechaun.
A pretty gigantic leprechaun.
I can call you, I'll call you a Guria. You eat it. You're a chancer.
Definitely a chancer, and the chances continue to grow as Smog progress through this game with a win, get some more victory points for the magical algorithm, which will send them up the rankings. Sugar Mix learned a lot from this game. All smiles all around. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next game of Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.